Good day, everybody. I'm Tammy, and today I was inspired by the word surrender. And what does surrender mean? Um, when it comes to spiritual healing work and ways that we can embody a level of freedom that we don't normally get without surrendering. So there's a couple of concepts of surrender that I want to look at. The first one is surrendering to the now moment. And what that means is loving what arises, being one with whatever happens, knowing that every time you are triggered, the trigger itself is attached to a healing, a part of an old self that is asking to be accepted, is asking to be validated, is asking to be seen or heard. Surrendering isn't something you do, it is a concept, it is a natural feeling. It's letting go to the point that you will accept whatever arises. It's only that we are attached to an old wound or a fear of something showing up, or anger or resentment, anything that is attached to showing up as is and allowing life to just arise and loving what arises, right? So I keep being reminded that anytime you are triggered or you are feeling depressed or down, it's actually a younger version of you. It's not your now you. If you hold the space that all is well in this moment and you really affirm that, if for real in this now moment all is well, then any other feeling would be attached to something from your past. Now, there's nothing wrong or right about this. What it does is it shows you almost the story. If you look at it, it's like I'm feeling sad because and I'll just give an example, and it's not necessarily true, but I did have this feeling at one point. I am feeling sad because I see a woman with a baby and I miss my baby. So in that feeling, the vision is in a story. Now, the concept of being in your story, okay? I'm just going to write down the word surrender so I remember what my baseline is here. So being in my story just means that there is meaning to the story. Okay, so in order to not be offended that you're in your story, you have to perceive it as the wounded part of me still keeps reminding my now me that it still is feeling the feelings. And it's really important to be compassionate, to be gentle, to be open, and to be loving to this part of you that is arising for your now you to navigate. So let's think about the word surrender. Today, as I was speaking with a group of people, there was a person that said that the word surrender was very triggering for her. So any words, and I'm going to write the word words, any words that happen to trigger you, it's asking for a new definition. Your spirit, or I should say your inner self, more likely is looking for a new definition. So it's imperative that you know that there is a future you and now you and many, many younger yous, okay? Lots of future yous. But this now moment is the only moment that counts, okay? So if you're having the feeling in this now moment is showing you that there is something that needs your attention. A lot of those feelings are unwanted, meaning it's avoided at all cost, some of them, because they're too painful. I understand. So, being in your story is a part of the triggers, and there is a lot of unraveling that can take place for you. It's like you're allowing your now you, which has a greater consciousness than the consciousness that experienced the story or the experience. So your now greater consciousness you also spiritually attached to your higher self. The experience of the story has created a bunch of intuitions. Now, reminded that unless you are Siddhic or a high being, a high energetic being, the intuition can also be your ego, and the ego would attach a belief system. So that belief system doesn't serve you, because if you believe that that story is the only story there is, it means you're not stepping out of your story and looking at the whole experience from your now new consciousness. When you pull yourself out of the story and you observe the story, there is something in that story that once you turn that key, a door widens open, and it's like more of a boulevard, and you're able to see from all of the perspectives of all of the characters. You might even look within to see how, if that didn't happen, if that experience that was so bad, okay, did not happen, this, and this wouldn't have unfolded for me. But you could also see that this, and this happening created a greater awareness. I didn't have the tools to work with that at the time, but now every single time a trigger happens, that trigger is telling you that you're ready. You're ready to look at it. It's not like this is happening because this happened to me in my past. This is happening because your now you says you're ready. Your soul nudges experiences or people, divine characters show up into your life to even help awaken those concepts or those stories for a reason. And I'm coming from a perspective where all of my stories have been healed. So it's easy for me to say. And I understand how the stories are pivotal, not just pivotal, but those stories create belief systems. And you even might have shame and guilt attached to that because you made choices from that concept. And all that shame and guilt that you're holding on to is sitting in your now belly. And it's hard to address because you've attached a belief or another story or another concept on top of the story. And it might even be self-sabotaging. It might not even be true. So, unraveling the stuff that comes up that does not feel good is for you. Even the person that triggers you, you think that they've done something and it hurt you, it did not. That's a belief system. We are always being guided towards our higher self and our highest destiny. I say we're always leveling up. We're always leveling up. Accidents catapult us into new territory. People fall away and new people come into our lives. And if we allow that and are not afraid to let people in, to me, what I understand is that we were never meant to hold those stories. But we were so young, we didn't know. And we can only do what we can from the consciousness that we're at that moment. But as we grow older, our higher selves become stronger, or our boundaries, not just boundaries though, our authenticity, our authentic beingness becomes okay. Like we become okay with ourselves. The more okay we are with ourselves in the now, the easier we will be able to address our past and those triggers. And triggers are not just like big. You can be set off by anything. So it's really important to, I say, have a career almost. We've got the time. If you've got the time, it's really important to spend some time with every single trigger that arises. I believe that writing down your trigger and reading what you wrote will give you new insights into what it is that you're looking at. When you're feeling it, you're of it. You're in it. You're of it. You're not observing it. So if you can write your trigger down, how are you feeling? What does it remind you of? How old do you feel? All these little things that will help you unravel what it is that needs to be heard or seen or learned. The concept of surrendering is knowing how safe you are now looking at it. It's not reoccurring. You are not acting it out again. The characters aren't present. So it is safe for you to go in. It's safe. It's safe to look at it. It's safe to write about it. It's safe to observe it. It's safe to dissect it. You are safe in this now moment. Every trigger is meant to awaken you to a new level of beliefs, of boundaries, of intuition, of guidance, of self-love. There is so much here for you. There's so much that you can gain from addressing your triggers. There's so much to gain from surrendering to the process, from surrendering to the morning and the day, and even surrendering to going to sleep. I hope that this transmission serves you. I hope that this learning helps you. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to talk with you. I do one-on-one sessions with people, and I also have a Facebook page called Guided to Share Spiritual Truths. If you're interested in spiritual law and how the laws of the universe or natural laws work, I do have a YouTube channel that I have uploaded more videos here about, I think there's around 36 laws in the body of my YouTube channel. So I am grateful if you're watching this, and I'm grateful if this video helps you. So I would like to leave you with this. Dear human, you are a champion of your life. Look how far you've come. Remember how hard you've worked. You are here. Worthy. Namaste.